Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Average Joe MTG. Tonight we're bringing you an oldie but a goodie in an archetype formerly dubbed as Suicide Zoo. You guys may remember this archetype from somewhere in that 2016-2017 era, pre-Gitaxian Pro ban. The goal of this deck is to bring your life total down as quickly as possible and attack in with a very large Death Shadow Teamer Battle Rage combo here in for the kill as quickly as possible for your opponents can get set up. Obviously, Gitaxian Pro banned because, well, that card is busted, and that kind of led birth to, I think Sam Black initially had an archetype of Jund Death Shadow using Gore Clan Rampager and some other stuff, and then that eventually turned into a Grixis Death Shadow, which has kind of been the more staple, I guess, Death Shadow within the modern meta. We've replaced those Gitaxian Pros with this Mishra's Bauble here, which is something that I think most people have done with any of those kind of Gitaxian Pro type effects. And not because you can see their hand, but obviously because it draws you a card. Fills the graveyard, activates Prowess, it's free. A lot of good reasons to keep Mishra's Bauble. So as we look at this deck here, you'll take a look at the lands. Very painful mana base, that is to fuel the Death Shadow. Also very lean mana base, only at 18 lands. Mishra's Bauble, obviously just a good solid filler. Death Shadow is the namesake card. Package of Thoughtseize here, obviously a full 4 of, that's where you want to be. Crash Through to add some trample and card draw, as well as activating Prowess here on the Swift Spear, which you're also running a 4 of for some of that early aggression, a la Burn. You got Tarfire, which is just a strictly worse lightning bolt, but it does pump the Tarmogoyfs, and it can go face or it can go creature. Mutagenic Growth, just a free solid pump spell that plays into our Death Shadows plan, as well as the Swift Spear. Traverse the Ulven Wall to help us get land if needed. You'll notice we do have that one basic swamp in here. I have been to tournaments before where people are playing some crazy greedy mana bases and can't execute their plan in the face of a single Blood Moon because they have no way to get a basic whatsoever. Traverse also gets us a creature if needed. Teamer Battle Rage, this is what I was talking about with that Death Shadow. You want that early Death Shadow with combo with Teamer Battle Rage. A lot of times that's good enough. Tarmogoyf, just a solid beater. Dismember plays into that Death Shadow plan, as well as being a very effective removal spell, even against indestructible creatures and Gideons. Not that I anticipate seeing a lot of Gideons, but in general, Dismember, just very solid removal. Street Wraith, again, card draw, plays into the Death Shadow plan, and also fills the graveyard for Tarmogoyf and these Become Immenses that you're running a 3 of to pump your shadows with Teamer Battle Rage, or even your Swift Spears. Can get pretty large pretty quickly. As we take a look at the sideboard, pretty basic sideboard. 3 Fatal Push, because sometimes Tarfire just won't get it done. Inquisition to kind of pair with these Thoughtseizes in the combo and control mirrors. Same with Liliana the Veil. Veil of Summer, because, you know, 1 mana Cryptic Command is pretty good. Collector Oof. Not sure that this card should even be here, to be honest with you. Maybe there should just be 2 more Ashioks here. This was really more for those Urza matchups and things of that nature, but obviously with the Astrolabe ban, I'm not sure that Oof is super good here. Maybe with E-Tron, maybe versus Big Tron, but I think it's possible that this should just be 2 more Ashioks. Ashiok, because Ashiok's really good against big mana strategies and graveyard strategies. Colligan's Command, solid Jund piece here, solid Jund mid-range card. Does a lot of things for you, everything that you want. Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, just good removal, good cheap efficient removal. And Grafdigger's Cage for any of those go wide Coco and or graveyard strategies. So with that, Suicide Zoo 2020. Let's get some games going and see how that turns out. See you there.